Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you
Happy
doing,
Wednesday.
Josh? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. It seems like I can't remember. So like I was sick and was just not feeling good. And I was like, I'm behind. I can't. We got pushed. I think we tried to push it to Friday last week, and then
Yep, we
your kids were
tried.
sick.
Yep, and then the Kings are throwing up all over the place, and ain't nobody got time for that.
It's something like my kids were sick for like pretty much like 2 weeks. It seemed like it was crazy.
We had
man.
what's worse, in my opinion, what's worse. We had a full sick week. Then we had a week where nobody was sick, where you're like, okay, I caught up on all the stuff that I wasn't able to do for that last week, only to be like, get sick again. So it's like you're about to get into what would be a regular week, and then you just get kicked, right? Get kicked down once again.
I feel that. Yeah, it was one of those times when like everyone was like slowly recovering, and then there was one night where I just remember my middle daughter like came into our bed and she was crying. She was like holding her stomach, then all of a sudden, just puke everywhere.
Oh, the worst.
I'm like, okay, it's gonna be one of those nights.
Yeah, no, I can vividly remember a couple nights ago just like having one of the kids walking into the room already making like the gagging noise, and I'm like, no, like
No.
You have never gotten out of a bed so fast as hearing a kid about to throw up on your carpet, like literally like float out of bed.
And you're like, I know exactly what I need to grab. I'm grabbing like a shirt or a towel, whatever's closest.
Yeah, like anything,
cover this,
whatever it is, wrapping this kid up.
Oh, well, goodness. King's household is back to
we
to
are
health,
officially sick free, right? Like this sickness scraped like right under the finish line before we're officially out for summer. So it was like messed up the last little bit of school for Allie, but we at least are going to get to go into summer just healthy, normal, and not mess up. Like every summer we kick off summer by going to my parents for like a week and have like camp grandmom, basically, to where it's like Allie's like completely dead from the school year, and like we're all about to try and adjust into a new routine. So we do it by just like completely breaking it. And Allie actually gets to rest because we're at grandmom's house. So the kids are taken care of by grandmom. And like we get a chance to kind of like reset going into summer.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, glad to have everyone in the chat, Henri. And how's everyone doing? I also got just over another round of cold as fever. It feels like it's been going around. Like there's been people in my church friend group that's been super sick. I know. It's summer.
Like it's summer.
Should be dead
it's hot outside. Like I was walking outside. I'm like, guys, it's summer. Like nobody should be sick right now. But like this is healthy, happy time. Save this for winter.
Yeah, this does not seem to be the case.
No, not at all.
Other than that,
what do we have here? Thought it might have been Josh's guitar. It's not the guitar, but do we have a musical performance today?
We do not, because
no!
I had it set up. And I forgot like today was Wednesday, so I had it like set up at like my church and everything like that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I forgot to bring it home. But it's been next one, I promise. I'm like, I will put it in my calendar. But it has been fun to do. I have some things like I can like I want to talk about it, because it's one of those things where everything you learn so much. We're talking about it pre-show, but you like learn so much about like all these little things that you're like, oh yeah, now this is like what's fun.
Right. Yep.
Exactly. So I've been like
about that a lot lately, just with like what makes for like good ideas, like where does creativity come from, is like this fun question with no right answer, like there's no like actual answer to this, but like it's helped me like form a lot of opinions on it. And one of them is like kind of like exactly what you're saying, which is a lot of like creativity and a lot of good ideas comes from like it comes from life experience, and it comes
Yeah.
from like your unique lens or perspective on something based on everything that you have learned over your career. You know, like
Mm.
things that you now know can now be a part of solutions in the future. And the more broad and the more varied those things are, the
Yeah.
more creative I think you are, you know, like, and then there's like very creative solutions, then there's like very, very like efficient solutions, and like
Yeah.
sometimes efficient solutions aren't creative, but it's because that person like has super duper deep knowledge on like one specific thing, so they know how to solve things the right way, but it might not be like, you know, creative or interesting or fun, you know. That's like
Yeah.
where all the breadth comes from, you know.
Makes sense. That's the way I've been thinking about it, is where it's like, hey, there's so much that kind of entails of usually like a task that you're doing. And then like the fun part is not just like the figuring out the solution, but it's also like the fun part of like, oh, like what are the other options and alternatives?
Mhm.
And why is this rule slash guideline slash framework, why is this typically done this way? And then that's where the fun comes.
Man,
How was your week other than recovering and last days of schools and Allie's been home? One
I
of the things
have
I was
been
thinking of
honest.
before the show is we need to get outro.
Well, listen, I was like on their live stream. I was like, "Give it to me." They're like, "We're not giving it to anybody yet." And I was like, "No, you're giving it to me and Josh
Yeah, yeah.
immediately."
We got like verbal confirmation from Ian when he was on the show. Basically, that like once it comes out, we get it. So
Good. Well, he needs to let us in. We can give him really good beta feedback.
I will ask Claude to find that show, clip it, and then just spam
Exactly.
tag him
Exactly.
on X saying, "Hey, this is
Using
what you
AI for
said."
good.
Yeah,
Personal
exactly.
gain. I have had 2 side projects that I'm been, like, very, very excited about, and
Okay.
they came from it's, like, one reason why I like doing, like, conference talks is it, like,
Mm,
forces me to get outside of my rut, my
yep.
lane, you know, like I've got all these things that I've gotta do for work, but if I didn't have a side project, like, some of that creative energy would not exist. So it's like,
Yep.
my talk is on, you know, like, where does AI fit in the creative process is kinda what the talk is. And so,
Yeah.
like, as I've been trying to think through that, um, I'm like, I wanna show demos, I wanna, like, show things in action, and I have, like, come up with like 2 projects. One is on hold, because the other one is, I think, easier to get done
Yeah.
than the other. So one of them is called like a creative agent is like the project, but the idea is that like I'll have like these little miniature creative harnesses
Okay.
for different creative work. So if somebody is not sure what some of this terminology means, neither did I. And I might still be wrong, but let me just cover what my understanding of it is so we're on the same page, and then y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. To me, like, from what my understanding is like agents are just, um, models that can, like, make tool calls. Those are, like, agents. And then, harnesses are, like, all the things around it that allow that model that can call tools to have, like, memory, to have context, to have, like, um, all these, like, other things related to them. And so I am making a harness, um, specifically for the first one that I'm gonna try to build. I wanna try to build, like, a few different types, but the first one that I
Yeah.
wanna build is I'm calling it, like, a reference,
Okay.
like a librarian harness, which is, like, it gives you the ability to, um, connect, or the way I'm building it right now is, like, being able to, like, create it from scratch, like, it's all on Cloudflare. So it's like you can give it your references. It will automatically tag and categorize these like image references, like articles, anything that you want. It just will throw it all in there. Think of it like a Pinterest or a My Mind, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But My Mind just opened up like an API for the first time. And so
Interesting.
like I was like, I should probably just open it up to where you could have like any external source of
Like
references as well,
database
kind
and
of thing.
yeah.
So like that's probably going to be where it goes. And then the idea being that like you can send it a prompt, and it will like be able to search your references for you and provide really good contextual references for what you're trying to look for based on like your own taste,
Yeah.
basically. Because it's like it's stuff you're saving, it's stuff that you visually like. Um, and then like there's a lot of like fun things that it could do about that, which is like it can group things together for you. You can do grouping by itself for like new projects so that it can pull only from specific tastes, like taste groupings for certain things. And then like the big thing that I wanted this to like be able to unlock is like if I'm working in a canvas of some variety and I want to like I'm designing something or I've generated something and I want to like say like, hey, here is like these designs, pull stuff from my reference library that matches not only like the words that I'm telling you, the prompt that I'm telling you, but like this actual like data on this like design on the canvas as part of the prompt, to have this just like librarian agent that is like with you all the time while you're trying to create stuff so that
Yeah.
you can generate more stuff and better stuff all based on like your own taste, not on some like generic, hey, like generate 4 versions of this thing based on what, like
Got it.
why are you like what is that creating the 4 things on? Like all the data, the median of creative things that the world has, like that's like why what I want to do is like I want to
That's the
create stuff that's
taste.
yeah, like it builds in taste and soul and stuff that you define. Like I don't know how it will work, if it will work, but that feels like a gap in like AI agent use for like
Yeah.
creative process. So that's like
So
one.
if I'm understanding, it's almost like a more opinionated slash personalized UI.sh kind of thing, but more as a
I mean, I
harness
don't
rather
even know
than
if I'd
just a
say
set of
that.
guidelines.
Right. Like I would not even think of it necessarily as like specific to UI either. Like
Okay. So like
I just
everything
want it
design.
to be some generic thing. Like maybe it's screens. Um
It's print.
I would not even consider it as something that's like trying to optimize for like I
Specific
think
medium.
UI.sh like builds in a lot of like, hey, here's best practices
Yeah. Yeah.
into it. Like I don't even want that like for
Okay.
this piece of it. Like that to me, like once you're there, you're getting into manufacturing now. Like you're getting into this like part of the process where it's like, hey, I've already figured out what I want. Let's just like tweak it until it's like the final little polish is right.
Yeah.
Whereas like I want to like try to figure out the big messy part at the beginning where it's like I don't even know what I'm trying to make yet. Like let's figure
Mhm.
that out.
Okay. I'm curious then. When did this kind of come about? So like what was the driving factor? One, it sounds like just like, like, oh hey, this is something that's seems like it's missing and it's fun. Was there
Right.
any like project that you work on? Or
I,
just like stuff that you're like, hey,
I've just
I've
been
tried
trying to
this, it doesn't work for me.
I
So
well,
I'm trying
I'm
to
trying to think I just try to think of like how does my design process work and what are the parts
mm,
that like I've told myself AI is not good at it.
yep.
Like and the parts that I've like said like AI is not good at is like deciding on what I'm going to be doing in the first place. So like this came to me like when I was like, well, how did I like figure out like we talked about with like my slide presentation,
Yeah.
like how did I get to that decision on the colors, the style, the brand, the vibe of like my React Miami talk?
Yep.
And it's like a manual process. Like I'm scrolling through Pinterest, I'm scrolling through like images that I've saved over a period of time to see like, hey, am I vibing any, like, how do I feel about any of these? And like, once I start picking some of the ones that I like, then, like algorithms start providing more things that are somewhat similar. Um, and none of that is like, that's all a manual process by me. Um, and I was just like, that's like where like the library agent piece came together, which is just like, can I start it by saying like, hey, I'm giving a talk on this, and this. Go look through my references and try to pull together 4 or 5 styles
Yeah.
that you think would go well with this topic. And
Yeah.
like see if I can like do stuff like that doesn't require me to like, because like on Pinterest, it's like, okay, it's going to show me some randomly generated feed based on things I've already saved, or I have to like specifically search for a like very detailed term, like futuristic UI, blah blah blah, something.
Yeah. You kind of have to
Like,
know like
right, exactly.
what's
Like you've got to have somewhat of a direction. So
terminology
like,
for this.
right, like how can we build in, how can we build in like AI into this very messy, nebulous process to just like not to solve it, not to like make that decision for me, but just to make that process of like discovery and experimentation faster.
Yeah.
Like get rid of the parts that were inefficient in it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
So
I like that.
that was my thinking for that one.
Yeah.
And then my other project is I'm calling it, I don't know what I want to call it. I don't know if I'm going to say the name out loud because I don't want people to like snipe it on NPM yet, but I'm making a package. It is nameless at the moment, we'll say.
Okay.
But
Nameless,
it is going to be
nameless NPM package.
yeah. It is going to be in like an open source toolbar, like
Okay.
developer toolbar for like how you have like dial kit is a good example of it, where it's like, hey, define some like parameters and fields that you want to be able to like live edit settings for some design to tweak it.
Yeah. Like a control panel thing.
Control panel. Yep. Or one that I thought of that's like this is what like got me into it, because I was thinking about my talk where I was just like, a big part of my talk is like optimize for exploration.
Okay.
And like with agents, that means like, hey, you should probably like when you're writing and building stuff, like before you try to build out the perfect solution from a single spec, from a single conversation, like you should go very wide. You should try a bunch of different things first with your agents, because like code is disposable at a certain stage. Like
Yeah.
before you're trying to like lock it down to like the production implementation, like treat code and prototypes as like disposable things. And like people have been doing that a lot with like work trees and stuff. So I was like, hey, like if you're trying to look at like 4 different versions of a design, a lot of people would do that via work trees, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So like, how would you switch between 4 different versions of a design when you're trying to review it, to like, how can you optimize that process? So, but like some people do it with like remote, like they'll like kick off something and it will push it to like a preview URL or something, and like
Yeah.
there or whatever. So it's like having like a work tree switcher in the toolbar. Like it's basically just like
Okay.
tools. It is going to be like a wrapper. So like it will give you this nice little bar that you can drag around. You can hide it, or you can make it like pop up with a shortcut, and you can drag it around your UI, and you can slot in any tool that you want. And it'll be open source so that other people can make tools. There'll be like a UI kit so that you can you can build tools that match the UI with the UI kit, just for like experimentation and like messing around like while you're in development. This is like, the other one was like, hey, that's like the first 10% of any new task. This idea is for like the last 10% kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like you're now trying to build something, you're trying to test and tweak things. Like I think everyone's made, there's like 6 to 20 different things that you like look out and you see these different dial kits, or the thing where like you click on a UI element and you tell a prompt to it that's like, hey, this is not right, change it this way. Like that's just a tool. And instead of installing 7 different tools that all pop up all over your front end, like why can't there be like a toolbar that everyone uses, and the tools are just built to live inside of this like toolbar kind of thing. So that's the other one. And that one's been super fun.
Interesting. That's fun. Sounds like so you are heavy into kind of like this optimization process for how you specifically, but then like how like portraying and sharing how working with AI and agents has been working for you.
Yes. Specifically, to me, it's like specifically as part of like the creative part of working with agents. You know, like I think people there are enough people who are like thinking through the manufacturing part of this, where it's like, hey, like how can we provide all the tools so that when you know exactly what you were trying to make, you can get an agent to build that as efficiently and correctly as possible. But it's like, what does it look like for the part before you know exactly what you want it to build? Like, what's the process? What's the tooling? What's the workflows for that? Because like this is the fun part. I shared a tweet that was like this, which is just like, it just like nobody's process is the same. Like manufacturing can be the same. Like if you write TypeScript, if you write whatever, like you can get an agent, and it's like you're trying a specific output. There are ways to test it. It's all the same process, you know? But like creative process is like nobody does the same thing. If you ask 5 designers how they designed this thing, you're going to get 5 extremely different answers.
Yeah. That makes sense. I like that. It's similar to like how like one of the things I'm trying to work on, trying to do, and this kind of like leads into the first topic I wanted to talk about. But one of the things I've been working on is like my own personalized agent harness, in the sense of the 2 things that I really am seeing in my personal development. And what I like kind of see in the future of development with AI is like this aspect of I think it's all very personalized right now, in the sense of like it is me, it is personalized for my workflow. Everything, like there's a reason why like things like Pi is becoming more and more popular, because it's like I'm gonna let it tweak itself until it fits my thing. Like even like all the really popular ones right now, like Solo and Open Code, and they all have like ways that it's not specific. It is generic for you and your workflow. You can save like these settings, upload them, and now like everyone else can use your settings. But one of the things I work on, a lot of projects, not even like development stuff, but stuff that like I am bringing on, or like teaching someone, or like just sharing it. And the process to set up someone in the same flow, even if they are very like technically advanced, even if they're not developers, is so much work right now. Like if I was to tell someone how, even just to set up like their Codex app and be like, oh yeah, then you download these skills and then you do this, and like finally you have something similar to what I'm using. So my harness that I'm building along with these, and this is where it kind of leads into this first topic that I want to talk about. My harness I'm building is essentially like a multiplayer. I want it to be so simple.
Yes. Okay. I see
where if I download the app, and I send someone a link and they create an account and we're on the same team, same organization, they can essentially click one button, get that GitHub repo, and essentially be set up to work in their own environment, or with my agents that I have on my local device. And we can like interact. essentially like
they can do messages that would kick off like your codex or whatever.
If I approve it, yep.
Oh, okay.
And vice versa.
Gotcha.
So like it is all still localized in the sense of like if you have Claude code installed, if you have Codex installed, if you have Cursor CLI or open code, like all of it's still centralized or localized. I think there's still like I think there's still like an opportunity for maybe like a server or like a cloud hosting, one of those
That's
things.
like my first instinct was like, could the app just be a shell, like a UI? Like you're talking to people who don't understand that bit of it, but it's like, could it just be like it's a UI to like a shared sandbox with agents on it?
I think so. I think so. And it's like this aspect of I want to be able to be like, hey, you don't have to think about downloading skills and knowing how to prompt and knowing.
Yeah, it's like this idea of like, how can you give people a dev box? You know, like like how can you have like a one click, you're done.
Yep.
Exactly with the tools and the skills that you would need, and then like an easy way to update that agent environment.
Yep, exactly. And for me to be like,
it's an agent starter kit.
Is what it is. Agent starter kit, and pairing in an agentic world is my thought.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
Because
like
what
does it look like for multiplayer chat?
Yeah, there's no way for me, like not even a development standpoint. Let's go into I have like some friends that are like doing, hey, like I want to set up a thing where like they're saying like, oh, I have the Cursor app installed, or I have the not even Cursor, like Claude app, or I have Codex app installed. I have all these things, and now I want to like set up this thing, and they can do this within their own like environment. But then like my brain immediately thinks of like, oh, like you could literally have this set up on a schedule and it will do all this for you. And I think Claude Code and Cursor are like, and like Codex are like getting to that standpoint, but it's also, you have to have a little bit of umption to get there.
Yeah.
And so I think and leading into the topic, I'm thinking of like, how fast do you think is fast now in this world? In the sense of, we see new things pop up all the time. But then there's also like these ones that have been around forever. Like even if you think of like the rise of things like open code, which is not even like a year old at this point. I don't think. I think.
Yeah, and they're almost at like 1 million daily active users.
Yeah, which is insane. Does sprinting fast matter now?
Does sprinting fast matter now?
Well, like let's say someone takes your design agent harness skill and they put it out tomorrow. And it's like just as good as you wanted it, but there's things missing that you wanted. Does it matter that they move faster?
Yes and no. Like it matters if they're better than me. Like if somebody can move faster than you and is just better than you and cares more than you, like you're just gonna get beat. You know, like that's just the name of the game. But it's like, but if it's just like the argument that a lot of people have where it's like, oh, well, they can just clone your thing and then what's the point anymore?
Yeah.
The point is like, is that person who goes around cloning other people's ideas gonna continue to have new ideas? Are they gonna continue to care enough about the problem and the solution to work on it for months? Are they going to market it? Are they going to do like all the things that Ian is always, you know, like yapping about the business side? Like that stuff's real, and that stuff's like what matters is like, are you going to build like a piece of software, or are you going to build a product? And then on top of that, like, are you going to build a product or are you going to build a business? Because like that's different too. You know, like there's software, there's a product, and then there's business. There's these like layers to it where it's like, yeah, like anyone can build personal software. Like anyone can build something that is very unique to themselves that they use. that is not meant to scale, is not meant to like fit everyone's needs. And then like, or you could build a product, like something that is just more friendly to other people interacting with it. It has like selling points. It has like a story behind why it's necessary besides just you want it for yourself kind of thing. And then like you have a business, which is like taking it one step further, which is like, okay, like, can we build an engine around this? Can we build marketing? Can we build support? Can we build sales? All these pieces of the puzzle that like you have to have all of it for something to make money and be successful for the the long haul, you know?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, sure. Anyone can move faster than me on any idea. But if they don't care about it, if they're not going to do all the other pieces and I am, then I'm not worried about it. But it's like,
Yeah.
if there's somebody who's like smart and was going to do all that stuff anyway, then like, well, yeah, people can move faster than me and beat me. They could have done that before. The real piece that matters is like, are they going to, am I even going to care enough to do the rest of it? Are they going to care enough to do the rest of it? I think that's still the piece that everyone's missing when they're talking about like how easy it is to, because I heard somebody else say it, which was like, hey, people have like known how to make bread really easy for like hundreds of years, but people still buy it from the store. Like, you can make your own sourdough at home, but people still buy it from the store.
Yeah.
Why? Because like when it comes down to it, like people buy stuff, like sure, I could make it myself, but most people aren't going to care to make it for themselves. They just want convenience of something that's already done.
Yeah. And I like Henri's comment here. The new updates / products feels like music. I don't think there's ever been more releases in the history of recorded music. It's not all good. That's true.
I saw somebody that was like, that this has been a topic this week that I have seen a few tweets on that I'm like, this is interesting. But I don't know how I feel about it. So we'll throw it on here and see what you think about it, Josh.
Let's throw it.
I've seen people, been this big wave of just because you can make songs doesn't mean you can make hits.
Okay.
And it's like people having this mindset of like, just because AI now enables more people to create the thing doesn't mean they're going to create a good thing. Is like, I guess, like the mindset behind it, which is just like, I think to me it feels like gatekeeping in one sense, where it's like, this is like this is the beef that I had with it, which is like, sure, like, are people who are getting into it for the first time going to be good at it? Probably not. You know, like they're really not. And there's just going to be a proliferation of like not good stuff that people just decided to make. And like, but there's like, the way that they're phrasing it is like, no, you have to know all these other pieces to make something that other people are going to care about.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true. I think that I do think that like more people making stuff by nature, somebody's gonna get lucky. And they are going to try, like, the tools are going to enable them to make something that they didn't know how to make before. They're not going to know all of the ins and outs of music production. They're not going to know all the ins and outs of software or whatever, but they're going to make something that people like resonate with. And people are like, dang, that's really good, because they're thinking about it from a different perspective that other, like, the industry has not seen before. Because the what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, because it's been opened to so many new audiences, people with completely different backgrounds and perspectives than it has ever been before. By nature, as much as there's going to be really bad stuff made, there are going to be like new things that will be hits that never would have been made without the tooling, you know?
Okay.
What do you think about that concept of like this whole just because we're giving people the ability to make songs doesn't mean they're going to make hits?
Yeah. It's interesting because I think it like correlates specifically to like what we were just talking about, like moving fast. I
Mhm.
think the and Henri says, I have opinions. Share them.
Share them, Henri.
Share them.
Hit us with the
Um,
opinions.
but I think so. Like, let's say you and someone else
Mhm.
who is a designer has the same, let's say, identical skill level as you,
Okay.
both in development and let's say even taste
Okay.
and like just a clone of you. But
We'll call him Walt. Will and Walt.
Walt, but Walt doesn't have kids. And so Walt has
Man, get out of
essentially
here with that crap.
essentially has like an extra
Unlimited time,
5
we'll
to
call it.
6 hours a day. Yeah, yeah.
Without kids, you
Unlimited
have
time.
literally infinite time.
And so Walt finishes his design agent harness
Mhm.
80% faster than you. But Walt doesn't care about it as much as you.
Okay.
Walt was just doing it for just because like experimentation maybe. Walt was doing it because it seemed fun
Okay.
and didn't care. And then you put out one 80%, 20% late or whatever the math does for that.
Mhm, mhm.
I think similar to music and creative skills, similar to we'll even go like the business productized route. So like similar to a mom and pop taco shop versus a Taco Bell down the road.
Okay.
We'll even do Taco Bell. Like I think that there is this element of caring about something can still outweigh skill and talent and speed.
Okay. I'm gonna rephrase your framing by just a little bit.
Okay, and then
'Cause
I'll add an addendum
I
after you
think
do it.
what you're trying to say, like, it's only one part. You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that it's like a clone with the same amount of skill as me.
Okay.
Let's reverse that. Let's say, like,
Okay.
there's somebody who's better than me. Let's say there's somebody who's, like, an incredible designer, an incredible
Yeah.
engineer, like, so much better at all of like, 10 times better at all of that than me. Or say it's, like, somebody who's, like, never made software or designed something
Okay.
before. And,
Walt's
like,
younger
we're
brother
both we're both
with
working on the same thing, and Walt just kinda cares, but he's really good at the design and engineering stuff, and,
yeah.
like, I'm not good at the design and engineering piece of making this thing, but I love and care so much about, like, what I'm trying to make,
Yeah.
and I'm coming at it from the perspective of, like, somebody who wants to use this thing because it's, like, something that, like, I care deeply about from my unique perspective. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
with that as the framing, that fits with, like, what you're saying with, like, the mom and pop and the Taco
Yeah.
Bell piece of it, which is, like yeah, I 100% agree with what you're trying to, like, say and frame it as.
Yeah. You get it. And so I think like with like the music piece, it's one of those things where I think still in skill and talent is still going to be a larger deciding factor, just as it is with development right now. It's still going to be a larger deciding factor in the overall
Mhm.
formula for
Correct.
like, oh, like if you care and you have better skill and talent, you're going to be better than the person who
Exactly.
cares
Exactly.
but doesn't have skill and talent.
Yep.
But so it is heavily weighted towards skill and talent, but
There we go.
is
Yeah.
not
Yeah, yeah.
100% reliant upon skill and talent. And so with
No.
music, for example, when I was in high school, I remember writing and recording songs that are probably better than ones I could do today just because one, I had more time. Two, I had more time to care, even if I had less skill and less talent.
Yep. You had more time to
And
spend on each idea.
yep.
Like, you spent more time exploring, iterating, trying, crafting. Yeah, like,
And
this is, like, exactly so this is, like, another piece of, like, what got me into, like, this, like, creative like, this whole piece of it, which is, like,
yeah.
what we talked about months ago, where it was like, "Hey, I wanted to get into making music, but, like, I don't know how to play the piano, I don't know how to play the guitar, I don't know, like I don't know how I understand music,
Yeah.
intrinsically, like, I understand when something sounds good, I understand, like, what scales are and harmonies and all this kind of stuff are, but I don't know how to translate any of that into
Mm,
some kind of instrument for making those sounds, and so it's like, how do I like, what is the process then for me to be able to make music? Like, what does
yeah.
that look like? Like, how can I explore and prototype songs and like try to do things when I don't have the expertise on the tools? And I think that's like what's happening with like that's like what AI is enabling right now for software that I think it can enable for design, that I think it can enable for music eventually, like for all these other things where it's like for somebody who gets it, like somebody who understands maybe not the engineering piece of it, but they
Mm,
understand the like, hey, here's the problem and I know what a solution is for it. It's enabling them to start creating like things that solve problems for people. And like they'll get like by doing that process and caring about it, they will be they like there is now a path to getting the rest of it figured
yeah.
out. That's faster and easier and doesn't seem so insurmountable, you know?
Yep. Yep. And I don't know. Yeah, like, okay. So like Henri, I understand your question. And the funny thing is I think I agree with you, but I also want to phrase it in a different way. So like you're like, okay, should the music AI producer be in the same award show as the ones who write their own arpeggios and plays them? I don't think so. So I think there's a difference between performance, which I think my hot take around music, specifically when it comes to AI,
Mhm,
is that
mhm.
performance is going to be a much hotter commodity.
I agree. I don't disagree about that,
Yes,
not even a little bit. But
because like
go ahead.
everyone has gone to DJ shows. I think, and I'm not saying I think there are very talented DJs who can do better with AI now because of that.
Right.
I am not a DJ, but I know that like it takes talent to be a DJ. I
Yep.
think it's going to be harder for good DJs to differentiate themselves than it is for good musicians and performers to differentiate themselves.
Yeah. I
And
would
so
agree. Yeah.
and so with your question, Henri, I think like it's this thing of I think that similar to there's like some, there's great movies that are produced nowadays that are 100 not 100%, that are the majority CGI
Right.
and essentially computer generated, and they're probably gonna get even better. I think that there still should be acknowledgement that there was thought and care that went into those movies. There's
Mhm,
generative art, like
mhm.
composition art has been around for like the longest time. And like it's a genuine skill when you're like, oh, like I took
Yeah.
these three pieces of art and like I combined them using like these weird, crazy formulas. I think music and even generative like AI art is going to be like on the same realm, the same level in the sense that it's going to be easy to tell the people who use it as a genuine
Tool
tool. Yeah.
versus
Even if they do not have the skill to create that without it.
yeah. Yeah. I that's the I think that they should be in the same award show because I think it's different. To me, it's different than
Different category.
like it's different to me than like trying to put like AI versus like people in chess. You know, like yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
should like people be competing against AI in things that like are competitions of speed and knowledge? Like
Yeah.
no, you know, like no, like
Yeah.
they're gonna win. That's not even fair. Like there's no fun or like
Yeah.
joy in that. But in like competitions of like creativity and emotion,
Mm.
I think they should because it's like then like if people the people behind the tools, like behind the AI tools cannot like can use it in a way that brings evokes emotion,
Yeah.
like what's the difference between like people who are like um I don't know like what the analog would be, but it's like maybe it's like people who like started using paint made by like back when people had to make paint for themselves versus like they were able to manufacture pigments and stuff. You know, like anytime there's like a jump in like manufacturing or technology or whatever, it's like for things that are related to emotion and creativity, it should be like there are still humans behind it trying to evoke those emotions.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be interesting, and I think it would be like it's almost like a, well, don't take them out, because like that's a pretty good signal for where society is going if all of the AI stuff is beating out the made by people stuff. And like I do think that as of right now with the tooling, like things are still made by people. Even if it's made with AI, there are still people involved that have to like direct it in some way. And if if for some reason there is a project that had zero human direction whatsoever at all, somehow like becomes really popular and like that's interesting from like a arts perspective as well too.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, oh, well, this is monumental in a sense because like people emotionally related to this and like we're able to like put a lot of appreciation into this thing that had no human interaction with it or something, you know, like.
Yeah. I'll compare it to two things. One I am really into right now, so I'm going to share it in the chat. It's this, and this YouTube channel is incredibly good. If you do not know of Corridor Crew, it is basically a YouTube channel about film, but they're also like he also like made this like a like he just got into like they just got into like open source space because they made this like green screen keyer that's now like taken off. Corridor Crew's incredible. They're super smart. But here's like two comparisons that I think are really similar. At least they will be in maybe the next 3 to 5 years, I think, in similar things. There's this video that I watched about probably like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but it's called, "Is This the Greatest In-Camera Effect of All Time?" And it is essentially how this one camera effect done in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings has not been able to be replicated, and almost always genuinely goes towards AI or CGI, which I think is like a similar comparison because it's easier to do. But in this video, they kind of show like how much better and just more fun and interesting when you know the behind the scenes it looks when you're like, oh yeah, they spent hundreds of hours in just 3 minutes of film. Similar thing to, so like I think that's like one comparison is there is so much that like, and they have so many videos around like this similar topic of there's still so much that yes, AI and CGI have gotten better and deep fakes have gotten better. There was a video that I just watched from them like maybe last week where they talk about like what's the best like the best actors that they brought back to life, in the sense that the actor died and a lot of how did they replicate them using, you know, facial reconstruction or using digital recomposition or using CGI. And yes, CGI has gotten better to that point where it's like, okay, it still works well, but for everything else that's like, hey, this practical effect almost looks better, at least right now, 100% of the time, or at least it just has that feel that looks better because you can't capture human emotion. You can't capture all of this taste.
Yeah, like there are imperfections that can't like part of art, like the beauty of things in life is their imperfectness. And that is really hard to replicate.
Like you can't replicate one at least the same degree as of right now, but even the ones that can, you can tell the talent of the CGI people because of how good it looks that you couldn't tell it from the other stuff. And so I think that's where like this AI art broadly, whether that's in film, music, anything else, art is like going to play. Is like, okay, you give someone who has spent hundreds of years in CGI, not that much, tens of years in CGI, they're going to do better with AI and the tool of
Yep.
AI than someone who hasn't.
Yep.
Second thing is, I wonder if this is how people felt. I was not in music production. I'm still not in music production, but I was not around when before MIDI became really popular. But I know that there was a lot of people that really hated that. Oh, you're telling me that you just sampled like this strings or this orchestra, and this is just a recorded sound that you're playing.
Mhm.
And now, yes, there's still a lot of recorded, like, Grammy award-winning songs that are recorded with full band orchestra. But 99% of people, even including, like, those producers, will tell you that you can't really tell a difference. Like, it's so good.
Mhm.
Other than maybe, like, those small little moments of, like, different parts of playing.
Right.
I think it's similar to that. I think AI generation is similar to that, where the tool of, like, MIDI allowed people to have, like, these sounds, but I can just play it in my bedroom and still have, like, a
Right.
full orchestra sound with
Yeah.
a piano.
This
But I
is
still
like
need to
this
know
is
what to play.
exactly what we were both talking about. Like, this is what it is. It's like democratization of
Yep.
like capability, I guess is the way I would phrase it. You know, like this is good. This is great because like think of how many musicians that would never ever have become musicians, like
Mm.
songs that you never would have heard, songs that never would have been a part of your life. If the only way that music could have happened is if like the music that they made would have happened if they could like get access to a large group of people who all knew how to play their instruments as experts.
Yep.
It's the same with software. Like how many products are going to come in the future because like somebody who wanted to make something like wouldn't have had access to a group of expert like a good like group of good designers, a group of really good engineers. Like people were already trying to do this
Yeah.
with like offshoring and all this to like cut the cost as much as possible so anyone could try and get in and build something, you know, like so this is just like an extension of all this where it's just like let's give the tools to more people. Let's give the capability to more people. That doesn't mean people are gonna like I heard somebody phrase it this way, and it's like this is exactly what it is. Like all we're doing is raising the floor.
Yep.
Like the ceiling has not been brought down. Like we're not going to be able to like people who are pure experts are not going to like be able to make less good things.
Yeah.
But now the floor for like what is possible and like how easy the path to starting things is just like the barriers are just getting blown away. And
Oh, yeah.
that's to me always a good thing. Even if there are definitely like that does mean more slop, as they say. There is going to just be more noise in the machine.
Yep.
But it's not going to keep people from wanting to make something with their own hands. You know,
Yep.
like
Yep. 100%. Which is interesting. Similar topic, but real quick. I don't know if you saw the movie Project Hail Mary.
I've not seen the movie, but I've read the book.
I read the book, and I wanted to see it before it went out of theaters. So I finally got the chance to do it this past weekend. And incredible story, incredible book, and translating really well for the film. But it's one of those things where I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who has not read the book or seen the movie. But like a large part of the whole story is this guy's interaction with literally a alien rock. And half of the shots, I think 90% of the shots are all CGI. 10% of the shots you can tell. I also like read up on it, but 10% of the shots you can tell when they used a mixture of physical effects in the sense of like a puppet, or also like what's it called, facial tracking, like where they like have someone dressed up as it and they can track it, so it's like someone's
right.
How Gollum was produced.
Yeah. I don't remember what the technique is called, but I know what you're talking about. Mocap, motion capture.
Yeah, next time. There it is. But like you're crying over this rock because of the like the story itself. You don't really care about that it's like a
No.
bunch of digital pictures on the
Right.
screen.
Right.
You care because like it means so much to you. There's a
Right.
reason why even before AI music became a big thing 3 years ago, we had like these Facebook ads that are like, oh, like have someone write your, which was probably early AI, but have someone write your significant other a song. And
Mhm.
they didn't care because it was a good song. They cared because it was like important
From you.
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Bam.
boom. There we go.
Boom.
Art.
Riff.
We have solved art. Yeah, no, I mean, we could go down this rabbit hole forever. Like,
It's a
both
good
sides
rabbit
are
hole.
you and me are such a, like, there are no
We
hills to
suck
die
for a
on type
show.
people, you
Yeah.
know, like, like, there are truths to both sides. There are
Yeah.
realities to both sides. There are cons to both sides. You know, like, let's quit caring so much about, like, all of that and just focus on, like, what we care about, which is just, like, just start making stuff and figure it out as you go. You know, like, if it's not as good as you wanted it to be, like, get better at it.
No.
But, like, let's get more people creating, you know? All right. You got anything else?
Last thing was we were talking about the Figma design agent. If we're gonna keep going down this art creation
Yeah.
route, you told
Yeah.
me you
Okay.
have a lot of thoughts.
I
But
do
you
I
told me
do have a lot of thoughts. Okay, so Figma, I've talked about a lot, some of my thoughts, but we'll just try to summarize it. Figma launched a new like Canvas agent, and like they had like MCP, which allowed like Claude and Codex and stuff to like interact with your canvas before this,
hmm,
but this is specifically like an agent built for Figma. It understands the internals of Figma. It understands like what is going on a lot better than any external agent can. Um, and I think this is great. I think that this is like any type of like pro tool needs to have some sort of like agent that is built specifically to like be great at that thing. So
hmm.
like Figma is great because like Figma has like a very proprietary like Canvas algorithm and Canvas data structure, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff's great. Um, so like yeah, you should have an agent for it. I think what's so interesting to me is that like there's so many weird like I'm so interested to see where all of this like I think there's like agents for everything. This whole concept of like being an orchestrator
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense with like manufacturing, but now it's like what does tooling look like when you've got an agent in your tools
Yeah.
and then you want to like talk to other tools? Like
Everyone's a
what is
manager
that going
now.
to look
You're
like in the
like,
future? Like how does Figma agent talk to like can't this is like what I've like gotten to, which is like what I've like this is the opinion that I've or the thoughts that I've had, which is just like I need a more generic design canvas,
hmm,
a more hackable design canvas, a more like
okay.
agent integrated design canvas that is like more open because there is or like there is this like where I'm talking about like with this like librarian thing. Like, Figma's never gonna add that in for me. You know, like, they're not gonna build that. Like, maybe they will, but, like, what if it's something else that I wanted to do that only I want to do? So it's like, to me, like, there's this interesting future of, like, people building tools and tooling that is, like, how can we build things that are as, like, hackable,
Yeah.
integratable with my workflows as possible. Like you're seeing this now, which is just like
Hmm,
like the ease at which so for instance, like I want to be able to take what's referenced on my canvas, send it out to like this librarian agent and be able to like have the librarian agent put stuff on the canvas there, like right in front of me. Like I want it to be able to insert cards onto the canvas. You know, like I'm doing that with like paper. Like that's what I'm like trying to work with but like there's so many things there that'd be like, oh man, like paper would be so much more of an interesting prototyping environment. Like I've just got this mindset of like I mentioned earlier, which is like optimize for exploration. Like AI makes it so easy to explore more, but it doesn't necessarily like none of the tooling set up to help you explore more better. Like
explore more better. That would be a good H1 like tagline for a tool.
explore more better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right now everything is like optimized for like I don't want a CLI. I don't. I want a canvas. Like I want a canvas, but I want to be able to like fine tune it. Like
Yeah.
I want to be like I don't want it to be like this is
You
like
want
I
like
think
the pie for design.
right. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. Like this is like what the problem Midjourney ran into, like at the beginning, like things that Midjourney as a tool has run into, is like I'm not able to like point it where I want it to go. Like when I find like how do we use these creative tools to be able to like explore and then actually follow a path? Like when we find it,
Yeah.
how do we keep following down that path in a way that's like reliable? And so it's like that way with like design and stuff, like these agents, where it's like, I want to be able to bring in my taste. I want to be able to bring in my constraints, like what we're talking about with code. Like, think of it as like architecture for design. Like, at some point, I want to start putting up walls. I want to start putting up like linting for design, like, hey, stop doing these things. I don't like them. Like, keep going down this path. So it's like, that's like the stuff with these like agents where it's like, great, like Figma has this agent and it's going to let you explore way more stuff. But is it going to let you explore more better? Like, are you going to be able to like actually iterate in a way that is reliable? Like with Midjourney, where it was like, yeah, you could, it just took so much work and so much effort and so many tokens, like it took so much money to like get it to isolate itself down a like creative direction. So like that's the hard part, is like how like what do all these tools, like how do you work with all these tools to explore and then also be able to like start isolating a creative direction in a way that is like constrained.
Yeah. And in a way, I think I'll say like the reason why you're building your harness and the reason why I'm building my harness seems to be like the same thing. It's like this aspect of, I think the more individualized specific agents and tools that we get for all these things you need, the more you need like this framework, for lack of better words, of like, okay, well then what's my opinionated way to
there's
handle all
one
this?
there was this framework. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking about this with teams too, where it's like, yeah. And this is like, yeah, I want my own personal taste, but there's also companies. Like if a company has a brand, if a company has, oh, what is the name of this agent framework? It starts with like a F. Have you seen it floating around?
It was like framework 0.
No, there's like a TypeScript agent framework, TypeScript. It's like this guy launched this project and it's basically like a agent harness starter kit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Where it gives you all this, it's kind of like, think of it like OpenClaw in a sense, but it's less opinionated. Like it gives you everything you need to do to be able to like do it yourself. And not be so bloated out of the gate. Like it just gives you the basics, the framework, like, but it's like, but yeah, like I think more people are going to be creating harnesses, like personal harnesses or like company harnesses, like one central company harness that the whole company uses that has this built-in, like it has all the tooling and the things built in so that when a new hire gets onboarded, they're not saying like, hey, like open whatever editor, and here's all the skills you need to download and like log into this like no, it's just going to be like hey, here's the company agent harness. Like it already has everything you need.
Yep. Like you get onboarded, download this one tool, all of a sudden this is all you need to work with everything that we work with.
Yeah, like it should be able to like it should be able to hold the things that you're like it should be able to hold your opinions inside. Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be perfect like for a long time, but like it should already know all the things. Like it should have references, it should have knowledge, it should have like links and accounts and all this kind of stuff just like baked in.
Yep.
Anyway,
honor you say OpenClaw, that's still around. I am not using it, but I know a friend of the show who came on is still using it.
Tommy,
there you thank you.
Yeah, Tommy's big. He the way he's using it's really interesting. And I think that he's not using it as like this like open-ended always running type thing. Yeah. In the sense that it's just like how people got using it as a Slack at the beginning, which was just like, hey, constantly listen to my life and like solve my problems for me.
And he has like 7 different agents or something like within his OpenClaw.
Yeah, he hyper focused it for sure. Like he explored a bunch and now he's like hyper focused it into like a few scenarios where it's like extremely useful to have this personalized harness for
I have like went the other way where I have just like used Codex or Claude Code to set up all these either skills or automations where it's like, oh, after I finish a meeting, here's my notes, then save this. Or if I send a text in this Telegram, like watch that and do that. So I've essentially, I guess, recreated OpenClaw. It's very, very minimal.
My only like my thing about all of this is just like, I think for 90% of stuff, that is all you need. Like, I don't think you need all this extra stuff, but there's this small percentage of things where it's like, let's say you get super into music. Do you think a generic agent with some skills is going to be all you need for music? Or like, and like maybe for like post-production, like, oh, hey, like automatically do this, and this. But like for the things that are unknown, having like these like agents that help you explore, like, I guess exploratory agents, like, how do you I guess this is the problem that we're going to sum it up as this, and then we're going to call it a day. I think what I'm trying to like figure out is how do you not end up with outcomes that are the like median outcome when working with agents?
Okay.
Like, how do you get outstanding, unique, interesting ideas still like during your creative process and AI is involved with it? Like what and to answer that, you have to understand how you get those things as a human. And then you have to be able to build those into like the guardrails of your harness to have it like be able to think like you. Kind of thing.
It's an interesting premise.
I don't know. I'm not proving any of this. I'm just exploring, so.
No, we'll riff on it some more.
We will. We're going to riff. What you got going on next week?
We'll find it. This next week, I'm going to Japan for Laravel Live Japan.
Heck yeah, dude. That'll be fun.
So that'll be great. And then, so no show next week because I will be in a weirdly different time zone.
Very weird.
I don't even know what time it's going to be.
I'll be at my not my grandma's. I will be at my parents, at the grandparents with our kids next week. So that's great.
Yep. And right now in Japan, it is 4:15 a.m.
Ew.
So yeah, no I will not be awake. I can actually, unless I'm really jet lagged, I might be awake.
If you're awake, that's already a problem.
It's a problem. But no, I'm excited because it was going to be a small conference, and then all of a sudden, there's a lot of Laravel fans in Japan, so it's fantastic, big conference. Taylor's going to be there, Nuno's going to be there. It's a lot of Laravel team members are going to be there, which will be fun. I'm excited to explore Japan, have some good sushi.
I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm so jealous.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm not excited about the trip itself, but that is what it is. But yeah, after that, I'm gonna come back and hopefully not get sick and accumulate. So that is my next week.
Yep.
What about you?
Next week we are kicking off summer. I'm headed to my parents with the kids to hopefully get a semi-relaxing week before the summer of all the kids being at home. So we will figure out our routine, but next week's kind of I'll still be working, but it'll be like vacation-y working where it's like I'll work, kids will be around, but my parents will be around to kind of help and that kind of thing.
You'll work in a new environment, so it already feels like a vacation if you're like working.
Exactly. Yep.
Not staring at the same wall. I know that feeling.
It's the best. It's
good. You get a lot of work done in a new environment. That's why I like.
And it's good because then it's like when you get back to your regular environment, you're like, oh man, I miss this. Like it's good to miss the usual.
That we should, if we're doing merch, we'll put that on one.
There we
good to miss the usual.
We'll get merch eventually one of these days. It's just too
Baja Blast merch. We got some Taco Bell merch. We got some Riff merch, some Refine merch. There was some other things. I'll have to like have Claude go through all of our transcripts because I think there's been a couple times where like that'd be good merch.
Such a good idea. Oh man, like tell Claude like, hey, run through all our transcripts and look for like the things we say the most, or like look for things that are like really good puns related to our show. Like I love a good pun shirt, dad joke shirt.
Oh man, I'm gonna do it right now.
Dear Claude, quick, go through our transcripts and see when Will and Josh said something really profound and good.
I am wondering if like the skill that I have to push this into a podcast, if we can like if we can inject that into it.
Oh yeah.
Like do something like, Claude, stop doing this and email Will King. I actually think it only listens for like the first word, so it knows where to start it, and then just ends where we end.
And then it's just like, bleh. That's smart though. That's like much better processing.
Much better. Thank you. I had some good ideas.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of tokens. We can do put in your bets.
You gotta wait until you're like, hey, I'm not gonna be like doing a lot of work for the next week, so we'll just let all of our tokens be spent on some big process. Which remind me next time we're on a show that I need to tell you about an idea that Hank Taylor had that he told me about at React Miami.
Okay, there you go. I was gonna say I had applied to do like the Codex GPT 5.5 on May 5th in person, and so I got 5x credits until for like the next 3 months. So I think we should be good if I let Codex do this.
Nice.
There we go.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, hopefully everyone, thanks for hanging out in the chat. Carl, Henri, everyone else.
Have a good holiday on Monday for those who get to celebrate it. For people in Canada, sorry. You have other holidays, so not sorry. Yeah. Bye.
All right. See you.